Okay, Roxanne?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Barnett. I'm with Lifeline. How are you today?
Okay.
Good. Did you have any trouble making it in here and finding the
No.
place? Good. I'm glad to hear it. You're Roxanne. Would you have a nickname, or is that what you like to be called?
No, Roxanne's okay.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're here today. So I have a referral from probation that they're asking for us to do some services to help you with some things that are going on in your life, and so I'm happy you're here. But I want to go over with you first some of our privacy policies that we have. So just so you understand, what you say in here is confidential. It stays between you and I. I'm not going to go share it with my family or friends, or what you say stays here. There are a few exceptions to that because you are referred by probation. I will fill out a report for them, and in the event that you are hurting someone, or you are at risk of hurting yourself or a child, I would have to make a report on that. So I just want you to be aware of that, but I want you to know that you can speak freely in here, and it won't go outside this room. Okay? Do you have any questions about our policy? Okay, good. As I said, I got the referral from probation. I don't know much about your story. Would you like to tell me some of the things that happened to get you here?
I was told that I had to come here because on my last probation report, I tested positive for drugs in my urine.
Okay, all right. Why were you on probation initially?
OWI.
Okay, all right. Was that your first offense?
No.
Okay, tell me about that.
I got my first DUI in 2007. I was on probation for that. When I was on probation for that, I had some problems with probation. I had a hard time keeping it, and I went back to jail for a while. And then I got done with that, and then about 18 months later, I had another DUI.
Okay, all right. So it's been quite a while that you've been struggling with this.
Yeah.
Okay. When you had your DUI, is it just alcohol, or are there alcohol and drugs involved?
No, I don't drink anymore.
Okay.
Just drugs.
Oh, okay. All right. What kind of drug? What drug do you?
Well, it's all prescription.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I hurt my back at work, so.
Okay. How's your back feeling now?
It hurts.
Does it?
All the
I'm
time.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Back pain is not fun at all. Okay.
Yeah, they were going to fuse a couple of my vertebrae together, and they couldn't do it, so yeah.
Okay.
I went to a pain clinic.
And that's where you get your prescription?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get your prescription, you're just taking them inappropriately. You're taking more than what you're supposed to, or are you getting extra drugs somewhere else?
Well, my prescription ran out, and then I couldn't get it anymore, so I got some from other places.
Okay. What would happen if you didn't take the medication?
I couldn't move.
Your back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I couldn't work, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything.
Okay.
It's terrible.
That has to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have a family?
I have 2 kids.
And they're both in the home?
Yeah.
Okay. How has this affected your family?
Well, they're all right. I mean, they go to school. My mom takes them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not driving legally?
Yeah. No, I don't have my license anymore.
Okay.
No. But if I don't drive, I can't get to my probation appointment.
Right.
And I can't get to the doctor's office. There's nothing here.
It is very difficult to keep up with the appointments that probation requires of you. It is very difficult, and now we're adding something else to your already busy schedule.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It is. Well, I hope that by coming here that we can work towards some goals, and it'll be worthwhile for you to come here and
Is this gonna help me get my license back?
Well, it'll definitely help you accomplish the goals that probation wants out of you, which will help you get your license back. You know, because if you refuse the services, then that's gonna make it look like you're not, you know, working with them. So, while that is always your option, you know, I would encourage you to try to give us a try and see if we can work out some of these issues for you.
How much is this gonna cost?
Well, that's the good thing, is that because it's through probation, that probation will take care of the cost and for right now, so that the expense won't come out of your own pocket.
It's $170 every month to do the probation.
Yeah, it is very expensive.
And every time they test my pee, it costs me another $75.
Right. So it sounds like that's really causing you some added burden.
Yeah, I think he's harassing me.
Mhm.
I do.
Do you?
Mhm.
Is this the same probation officer you had all along?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. When is the next time you go to court?
I don't know. I gotta talk to my attorney. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I've got a date yet.
So let's go back to how you feel about when you're on the drugs. Have you noticed that you've had to increase the amount of drugs you're taking?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I have to, like if I try different combos, it works better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Has that inhibited you from working, or has it affected
If I could be
your
on
job?
disability, I would, but I can't. I don't have a husband, I don't have anything that I can, I mean, I don't know what else I can do.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want anything to mess out with my food stamps, and I've got a place to live,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So the drug use has it impacted your employment at all? Or has it caused you any issues as far as that's concerned?
I think the pain came first.
Mm-hmm.
The drugs help me to work. I
Okay.
can do a lot more when I'm taking drugs.
Okay.
But it's hard to get a job when you don't have a way to get there, and you don't have, and a lot of places drug screen.
Yeah. You're right, and it is a significant challenge when you don't have transportation, you know. Do you live someplace with bus service, or are you in a suburb?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm out in Morgan County. There's nothing out here.
Okay. All right. You told me, you mentioned your mom. Does your mom live with you, or?
No, she's in town.
All right. And how is your mom as far as a support for you?
She takes the kids to school.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a pretty good relationship with her otherwise?
No, she married some guy I don't like.
Okay. How aware is she of your drug problem?
She knows a party.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right. Who else would you count on for support besides your mom?
That's it.
Okay.
And I've got a neighbor, we trade babysitting sometimes.
Okay. Good. That's helpful to have somebody help you with the kids. Good. And as far as the kids go, are they, how old have you mentioned?
7 and 11.
7 and 11. Okay. All right. And how are they doing? Are they okay in school, and they're doing all right?
They're okay. My son has some special needs, so
Okay.
yeah.
And is
So
that being
he's-
addressed with school then?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But it's hard because I can't get over there to talk to anybody, and
Mm-hmm.
they want to meet me in person, and I can't, and
Right.
yeah.
Which having the special needs also adds an additional stress to your life too. So it sounds like you really have a lot to deal with on this. Okay, all right. What do you think I can do to help you? Do you have anything that you specifically would like to work with?
If you can talk to my probation officer and tell him that I'm not making this up, and that I'm really hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe give me a new doctor or something, I don't know.
Okay. What about ways that maybe we can work toward, you know, obviously I'm not a medical doctor, I can't fix your back or anything, but are there ways that, you know, have you worked in the past on ways to cope with this besides just medication, or is there, things that we can do that will help you to control that pain a little bit more? Is that something your pain specialist has explored?
He mostly just gives me drugs, different drugs, and physical therapy.
Okay, has the physical therapy been helpful at all?
Not really,
No.
but it's really just the stress of this whole thing,
Okay.
you know. If we could just get back to normal, everything would be okay.
Yeah. And what when you say normal, what do you mean by normal?
If I could get a job, a car,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be alright. Be okay.
Sure. Okay, so you mentioned that work earlier, so are you have a job but you'd like a better job, is that what you're?
I've had jobs in the past, but the jobs that you can get without drug screens don't really pay the bills and they're not that close around here. That's the problem.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, not having your license in this area is really a challenge.
It is.
That is a challenge.
Mm.
So, as far as meeting with me goes, are you willing? Is this a service that you're willing to accept? Is it something that you are willing to come back and engage in?
Are you gonna tell my probation officer what we talked about?
I will file a report with your probation officer. It'll cover the details as far as it concerns your case. But if it doesn't directly affect your case, then,
And are you gonna drug test me?
no, that is not part of my services, so I do not do the drug screen.
But if I come here, like how often do I have to come?
Well, that's something we can talk about, ideally, I'd like for you to come in once a week. Does that sound like something you can do?
Maybe.
Okay, okay, all right. And so, just let me kind of recap a little bit so we understand what we've covered today is, I understand you've had multiple DUIs, right? And that's what's brought you in here from probation. They're wanting you.
And some probation violations.
Okay, all right. And it's because of prescription medication, for the most part? Or,
Well, I mean, one time they tested for cocaine.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that an ongoing issue for you?
They only tested me one time.
Yeah, but as far as, they've only tested you once, but have you had that, is using cocaine an issue that you've had frequently?
Well, I don't have any money, so.
Okay, so would you say that if you had money, that would be a concern that you would have?
No,
No.
I'm not sure.
Okay, all right, okay, so you're telling me then that even though you have taken cocaine, you don't feel like that's gonna be a problem?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
he doesn't live with us anymore.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, well, then I'd like to go ahead and set up an appointment for next week to maybe we can go a little bit further, a little bit deeper and talk about some of these issues.
Are you gonna talk to DCS?
DCS, are they involved in your case?
Well, no.
Okay. Have someone make it a DCS report for you?
Somebody said that they were gonna make a DCS
Okay.
report, and I just didn't know if you talked to them, or are
Okay.
you like the same place? Do you talk to each other?
No, before I
or-
would share with anyone else, then I would have you sign a paper that you agree that I can.
And if I don't agree, you wouldn't talk to them?
No, because DCS, no, it would only be through the probation department at this point.
And the school?
I will not speak to the school unless you sign a release of information.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, that's our policy, because your information will stay confidential in here,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
And if there is someone that can benefit, that it could benefit you, then I will have a release that you will sign and agree to me sharing the information,
Okay.
okay? Does that sound good?
And that's HIPAA, right?
Right, just like if you were going to the doctor and your information is private, okay?
Yeah.
All right, do you have any other questions for me today?
Did I ask you if this was gonna cost me anything?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and,
And you said no?
right, correct.
Is there any way, if I do this, I could get a shorter probation, or maybe you could talk to the judge or something like that?
Well, I really don't know. I really don't know that I can promise that. like I said, I'll turn in reports to the probation officer, and those reports will go to court. But I can't promise that. I wish I could, but I can't promise that.
Okay.
You know, that would be the outcome. So I think it will definitely help you that you know that you're coming though.
Well, so what exactly are we gonna do here, though? I mean,
Well, we'll start by kind of going over maybe some of the history of when you started using and what led you to that, and maybe look for a pattern in your life of what started the drug use, maybe what triggers it. You have a real life issue with your back. I mean, that's something that but there might be possible ways that we can work on keeping your control over the drug use that you have to have, because using it correctly is not the problem, you know.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
and then maybe work on ways that we can help you as far as being a parent and kind of, you need some support. You've had a rough way to go, you've had a lot of challenges, and having this support, you know, might be beneficial to you.
Okay.
And I want you to feel that you have the support with me. Okay?
All right.
All right. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it was so nice meeting you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. All right.